Syngonium erythrophyllum Red Arrow is a compact growing Syngonium species from Central America. It gets its name from these dark red undersides to the leaves, which makes a striking contrast with the dark, glossy olive green of the upper surfaces. It is a climbing and scrambling plant, and it produces aerial roots with which it climbs and scrambles. So if you're able to give it a moss pole or some other type of support, it will climb that support. If you can, try to position this plant in such a way that you can get a better view of those red undersides. Something like a hanging basket. This particular species does do well in a hanging basket with the stems tumbling out over the edge, or position it on a shelf at a higher level so that you are able to view the undersides more easily. Position in bright, indirect light, and do watch out for the humidity. This plant does appreciate a fair degree of humidity, so a regular misting of the foliage, and you can also place the plant onto a moist gravel tray to help increase the humidity. Allow the compost to dry out a little in between watering, and fertilize every 2 to 3 weeks with mild fertilizer. Propagation is by taking cuttings in the spring or summer. This particular plant is not very large, but it does have a growth that will be suitable to take a cutting from. So I'm going to remove this top growth, and this is going to give me a nice little cutting which I can then grow on. Here is the cutting that I have removed with some sharp scissors, and you'll see that some sap is starting to form on the cut surface. Do watch out for that sap. That may cause irritation to bare skin, and you certainly wouldn't want to get that in your eye. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to cut the stem again on the node, the point at which the leaf joins the stem, as this is where the roots will form. So I'm going to remove that lower leaf and make a new cut at the node. This is the node where I'm going to make a fresh cut, and then I'm going to remove this leaf. Now I've made the cut. There's the freshly cut surface, the leaf which has been removed, which can now be discarded, along with that extra length of stem. You could root this cutting in water, but I prefer to do it in compost. I've got a clear plastic cup that I've punched some holes in for drainage, and I'm going to put the cutting into a mixture of general purpose compost, to which I've added some extra coconut chunks and a couple handfuls of perlite just to improve the drainage. I'm now going to make a hole at the side of the cup so that we will be able to observe the rooting, and I've used a piece of bamboo to do that. And now gently put the cutting into the hole that has been made, and then backfill and firm the compost around the cutting so that it's held in place. Give it a tap to settle it, and that's all there is to it. Now all we'll need to do is give it a good watering and keep the cutting moist, and watch as the new roots develop.